Evening people, evening, welcome back to the channel. Evening Barzy in the chat. You might have seen him in the Berg lobby last night. So we are back tonight, new league from the P1 boys, so Super GT, the Japanese Super GT. So it's GR2 style cars or class cars. We've got a 5-minute qualifier followed by 50-minute races. Starts tonight, obviously, at 9 PM, obviously, because I'm here, and live on this channel, funnily enough. So that's to start with. The rules and regulations. Oh no, let's have a look at where we are. So tonight we're at Suzuka, next week High Speed Ring, then we've got Tokyo South, we've got Tokyo East, we've got Autopolis, we've got Fuji with no chicane. So 6-week circuits. We'll see how they get on with those. They do have to use three different types of cars. We'll have a look at that any second. So tyre wear is set at ×4, fuel is set at ×2, 60% starting fuel against a 50-minute race, so they do have to come in the pits. Bop is on, brake balance only allowed, and ABS only, that's all you're allowed to faff around with. And then the actual sort of rules you must follow, so you've got to use each car. There's 3 cars. You've got the Subaru, the NSX and the Nissan GTR. You've got to use each car twice at some point. It's going to be just after 5 past Barzy, just after, once I've got rid of all this nonsense out of the way, and then we'll kick off. So yes, you've got to use each car twice over the 6 weeks. 20 points deduction for each extra car you use. So if you use a car for 3 weeks, you lose 20 points. Obviously, you have to use 2 compounds, hence the hence the pit stop and the 60% fuel. And if you don't use the 2 compounds, you get an in-game penalty. I don't actually know what that is, but you will get a penalty. So that's that. I've still got stickers available, people. If you want any of those, hit me up at darksmoker@googlemail.com. Flipping out, can't get my words out tonight. Outside of that, let's get ourselves in the lobby. So let me turn the sound on for you lot. Evening, how are you all doing? If you're listening from abroad, I hope your team's doing all right in the World Cup. Not too good, obviously, because of England, yeah? Let's pack it in. We're taking it. So, who have we got in the lobby? So it's a little bit sparse tonight. I think a few drivers can't make it tonight for round 1, unfortunately. So we've got 8 racing. We've got Dylan, Mart, Obi-Wan, It's Hoggy, P1 Manny, P1 Mockin, Dazzler, and P1 Pilgrim all heading out tonight at Suzuka. We were potentially having 1 or 2 more, but obviously they can't make it, or they're not back, or whatever it is. So we'll see if we just stick with the 8. So again, 5-minute qualifier, which is going to kick off any second. Stay hydrated, people. And then we jump into the 50-minute race. Let's see how much practice people have had. The GR2s, they're pretty ruthless. Rear-wheel drive, a lot of power, a lot of downforce. If you've almost got to accelerate around the corners to make the downforce work. So let's see how they get on with that tonight. Why has Dizzy left the room? Come on. Has he gone to get his car serviced or something? What's happening? What's occurring? Let's just ask in the chat, find out if somebody knows. Where's he gone? Yeah, so it should be about 5 past Barzy, give or take, unless we have to wait for Dizzy to re-enter the room. We'll see. Not the easiest of circuits though, Suzuka. There's a lot of off-camber turns in this one. Some fast ones as well. We'll see. So yeah, we'll see if Dizzy's going to rejoin us. Nothing's coming up in the chat at the minute. Come on, Dizzy, one more driver. That's what we need. Oh, we're not sure. Well, it might be internet connection or something daft. Maybe his PlayStation's overheated. I know one or two of the boys. He's still online, all right. One or two of the boys have their rigs and PlayStations up in the loft, and god damn, I mean, I'm sat in a little box room with the window open, and it's still roasting in here. I've got the PC sat down here. I've got the PlayStation up there. I've got TV, 2 monitors. Yeah, it gets a bit warm. I can imagine once it's up in a loft, it becomes a little bit traumatic. Dripping by the time you get down. Come on, Diz, get yourself back in. If not, let somebody know, and then we'll kick off without you. Oh yeah, no Scooby in the room tonight. Surprising with the GR2s. So, while we're hanging about, should we go and have a look at some liveries, shall we? See what the boys have put on their cars. There's bound to be some inappropriate stuff somewhere. Let's put some nonsense on as well so we can see who we're looking at. So, Manny then in the Marlborough liveried NSX. Dylan. Sonic Skyline for round 1. Tell your mates, tell your mum, smashed on the bonnet. That's what we like to see. Is it just this race? Just tonight, yeah, it's a single race, 50 minutes tonight, that's all we've got. Another NSX for Dazzler then. Looks like he's got snow or something smashed up the side. Mart, ooh, look at that for Snazzy. Red and blue, I think most of his liveries end up being that colour. No, no, it's Hoggy. No, it's Hoggy. No, no. I'll have a look at your livery while you're crashing. Oh. Okay, looks like we're getting on with qualifying then. Dizzy's not returning by the looks of it. So 5-minute qualifier underway. It is GR2 Barzy, yes it is. So yeah, plenty of aero, plenty of power in these things. Let's have another flick through those liveries while they're on this outlap. Mark we've looked at, Obi, Hexagons. Taking his time on this first lap, saving those tyres. Well, yes, yeah, I fully agree. Yeah, I don't know about Jim will fix it though. Jim will far from fix it. It's kind of been this man on the side's fault that Jim managed to get away with it for so long, wasn't it? Yeah, agree with that too. Can't not agree with it. What's that? Epstein? What's that? Yeah, well, you know, yeah, I don't think there's anything on that car I disagree with there, Pilgs. Dazzler, have we seen your livery already? DHL Logitech. We have missed a couple. They've swapped positions a little bit. Dylan Mockin. Ah, there we go. Mockin, the yellow and black Velo Gemini livery. Oh, look at that sun screen he's got there. Look. Perfect. Who else have we not seen? I think that's everybody. That's all 8 drivers. Okay, so just about to start these hot laps now then. Obi-Wan, first one out. Full speed into turn 1. Covering all the apex there, not running out to the outside of the track for that one. Yeah, they do like having the throttle press kind of when they're going around a corner to get the aero active. Full tilt then down to Degner 1. There as well, a little catch on that AstroTurf, just got to be real careful through there, down towards the hairpin then, hard on the brakes for this one. You do see drivers go for moves into that particular turn, full stamp out then into 200R, big push then all the way down towards Spoon, double apex here. Hit the first bit out to the outside, come back in, catch the second part, try not to run out too wide here. Oh, onto the AstroTurf a little bit, backed off the throttle there, Obi. Back straight, oof, being distracted by something. Mega quick through there, didn't even lift. Down towards the chicane then. Cleanly through the first part. Cleanly through the second, just got to press it to the line. He will obviously get another opportunity to go round. There he goes, 1:47 on the clock for Obi. Let's see Manny, next man out on track. He's slower, stays second. Mart crosses the line, goes first. Mocking Weeks comes through to take that off him though. Dylan then comes through straight after to take that off of him. So top time at the minute. Got one more driver just left to cross the line. I've put the sound on, good. So that is it. Is Dylan on pole provisionally then, but they have got one more lap to battle it out. Mocking Week second, Mart third, Pilgrim fourth, Obi in fifth, P1 in P1 Manny, not just P1. He's got some more names. He's sitting in sixth. Oh, it gets a little wobble on through there. Caught him out of the second part of it. Oh, into the wall he goes. Gets away without any damage, but that's this lap thrown in the bin for him. It's Hoggy then in seventh and Dazzler eighth. So, who was it? It was Obi, the first man out. So he's going to be the first man to cross the line. God, look how far ahead he is from everyone else. Through Spoon. Doesn't go on the AstroTurf this time. He's got 2.1 seconds to try and make up to beat Dylan. Through 300R then, down towards this chicane again. Towards the line, any quicker, moves up the field into fourth, but that's not going to be enough. Mart being chased by Mocking Weeks. Mart stays third, Mocking stays second. Dylan goes a little bit slower on that one, so still one or two drivers left to cross the line, but it is Dylan on pole for the time being. Two more drivers left, Mocking Weeks second, Mart in third. Yeah, we're staying as we are for now. Obi in fourth, Pilgrim fifth, Manny sixth. Oh, sorry, I'm just waiting for Manny to cross the line, but he got that lap wrong, didn't he? So stays in sixth. It's Hoggy in seventh and Dazzler in eighth. There is grid order then for race one. There you go. Dylan on top spot, 1:44.835. Next quickest man, 1:45.7. So almost a second quicker. Different car though, he's in the GTR Nismo. Dylan is one of the quicker drivers in this lobby as well. He usually needs. He's either got direct line to whatever his name is who made the game for cheat codes, or he's got some way of taking ballast out of his car. I'm sure he's got something going on. He's gone up, down, left, right, square, X, circle, triangle, maneuver, old school GTA, jetpack. 3 minutes until the race starts. If anybody joins now, I think they'll just get shoved to the back of the pack, obviously. But I can't see anyone joining now. They would have joined during that qualifying session, I think. Three minutes of talking waffle. Are you coming back next week, Barzy, if you're still in the chat? Are you popping into the Berg on Saturday night? I mean, if you ask these boys nice enough, they might let you into this one as well. Should be an interesting season, this. I know the P1 stables do like a bit of GR2. I'm not sure that everybody's had quite enough practice though. I think people were asking what time the lobby opens so they can start their practicing tonight. That doesn't bode well. 2 minutes till race start. Let's have a look at these event settings. Is there anything untoward going on? ×4 ×2 for tyre wear and fuel. They only start with 60 litres. They do have to make a stop throughout the race tonight. They've got to stick on a different compound at some point. Otherwise it's a penalty. No, not a lot going on really. Traction control prohibited. Good. Good. We don't like traction control on. But we are just about to kick off with the race then. Here we go. Once it lets me in, there we are. Okay, Dylan's going to lead us out. Can Mocking Weeks get a good start? Maybe stick one up the inside of Dylan. Be interesting to see what these cars are like against each other in terms of, you know, full race pace. Is there going to be a clear and concise bit? A great start by Dylan. He stomped that thing away. Mark's had a good start as well. Is he going to get the opportunity to get past Mocking Weeks here? I think he is. He goes from 3rd to 2nd off the line, Mark. Mocking Weeks loses a position. Oh, sorry, it's the Lexus, not the Subaru. Apologies. Obi slots it into 4th then. Pilgrim 5th. Money 6th, it's Hoggy 7th, Dazzler in 8th. Everybody's still on track then at the moment. Look at this, Dylan already pulling a bit of a gap. We're only about 4 corners in, almost a second over Mark. Let's see what the tyre's saying. So it's mediums on for Dylan, mediums on for Mark. Got a medium on for Mocking Weeks. Soft tyre on for Obi. For oh my God, Pilgrim's just hit that AstroTurf. And unfortunately there is absolutely no traction on that. Around he goes into the wall. No damage on that car. Is damage not on? Did I not see that? So that leaves him way off the pace at the minute. He was 5th, so that puts Manny into 5th then. It's Hoggy 6th, Dazzler in 7th. Pilgrim now in 8th. I think everybody except Manny and Obi are on the medium tyres. Yep, everybody else. Look at this, Dylan already stretching that gap, 1.4 seconds. Mark being harassed by Mocking Weeks and Obi-Wan at the moment. To the start, finish straight then to end lap 1. Now, Let's jump on board with Mocking Weeks. Has he got enough slipstream? No. Just wondered whether he was going to try and use the slipstream to go for an overtake on Mart, but it's not worked out. Mart's carried a little bit too much speed through there. He's had to back off the throttle through the second part, allowing Mocking Weeks to catch back up. Obi-Wan not letting them go either. And they're all trying to close that gap down on Dylan up front. Again, all top three are on the same tyre. We've got Obi-Wan on a faster, softer tyre. He's going to have to wait a couple of corners. He falls back away from Mart then. He'll be on those soft. He'll be wanting those to work a little bit better than they are at the minute. Manny in 5th. Oh, Mart gets a wobble on coming out of the hairpin. Gets the power back down, but Mocking Weeks having a little look at him. Let's get ourselves back up towards that. Mart still have the inside line coming into Spoon, but who's got the bravery under brakes? Mocking Weeks just, but he runs himself out wide, leaving the door wide open for Mart to come back through and take that position. Oof. He's got the exit of that one wrong though. Mocking Weeks is going to come back at him. Obi-Wan's going to come back at him. It's going to be 3 wide heading up towards 200R. It could be chaos. Okay, everybody survived, but they have run slow. Look, that's allowed Manny to close back up on those two. And he's dragged Dazzler, it's Hoggy and Dazzler along for the ride as well. But look at this, 4.3 seconds now for Dylan. The battling behind has just allowed him to keep those qualifying laps going. He's not been put under pressure by anyone. Mocking Weeks then, 4.3 back. Mart another half a second behind him. Obi-Wan then on those soft tyres, holding 4th. Again, he's not made those work as much as he'd like. Oof, Manny, where are you going? He's also on that soft tyre, pushing hard in the NSX. I'm already feeling the sweat dripping down my neck. Going to be warm. Oh, Manny goes wide. Ah, that's the AstroTurf I was talking about. The same on the exit of this turn. You get your wheels on there and it just doesn't give you any traction. Around these cars go. 2 drivers being caught out by that then. Pilgrim gets a wobble on there. So it's Pilgrim we saw in the very next corner get that one wrong. Manny's just done the same thing. So Dylan, we're going to end up stop watching him soon because this is where the battle is really. 2nd place. Medium tyres looking good then. A little bit of extra wear showing on those soft tyres for Obi. He'll be upset with himself that they're not working. He's got himself back onto the tail end of Mart. So it's Hoggy then with Manny's departure. He drops himself into 5th place. Dazzler 6th. There is Manny. He's also found himself with a half a second penalty. Where do you lose that on this track? Well, that's up the back straight, I think, isn't it? And then Pilgrim still trying to get this Nissan anywhere close to the rest of the field. 10.7 seconds behind at the moment. This man just putting on a masterclass at the minute. 5.2 seconds up the road. Been under no threat from word go. Cheat code's working for him tonight. Oh, a little onto that AstroTurf. But if you noticed, he just made sure the car was pointing in a straight line. Didn't try and put the power down while he was trying to turn back onto the circuit. So Mocking Weeks starts to pull a little bit of a gap between himself and 3rd place Mart. 1.3 seconds that's sitting at the minute. Obi still half a second behind Mart as well on that softer, faster tyre, but it doesn't seem to be working for him too well at the moment. So will he do... I don't even think he'll do 20 minutes on a set of softs. He's going to do 15 minutes and 25 minutes, are you? What are you going to do? 35 minutes even? Well, he's 7 minutes in, and those softs are already pretty much half worn on the front. Battle kicking off behind as well. It's Hoggy, Dazzler and Manny all coming together. Manny losing his... Come on, camera, keep up. Manny losing that penalty then. Get himself back into this race. 2 drivers for him to chase down. He's got Dazzler just half a second in front, and it's Hoggy's only about 0.4 in front of him. Drivers risking it on the exit, that one. Hear them backing off the throttle when they get 2 wheels on the grass. Keeping himself right here though with Dazzler through the S's. Oh. Closes right on him through there. Has to back off the throttle as well there. Little wobble onto the grass. Loses a little bit of time to Dazzler. Oh, back on that AstroTurf. So dangerous. Keeping it straight this time, down towards the hairpin. Got a little view of Dazzler having a go of It's Hoggy here. Tiny bit of contact between those two. And that gap opening up then between these 3. Tiny little bit of contact between all 3 of them. There's at least half a second plus between each of these drivers now. Pilgrim is slowly chopping into the guys at the back's time, but whether it's, what is he, 8.9 seconds, so down about 1.5 seconds from the last time we checked. Dylan then stretches out more time, 6.2 seconds up front. Marking Weeks holding that second position. Mark's not been able to close up on him. Both drivers in that Lexus as well. Obi behind Mark, loses a little bit of time to him on that softer tyre. Again, maybe the grip levels just falling off a little bit for Obi. So it's Hoggy, out of danger for the time being in 5th. Still got Manny reasonably close, but not close enough to go for a lunge up in the inside of any corners or anything. Just no mistakes from It's Hoggy. There is Manny 6th. Dazzler's had an absolute nightmare. He's been off track somewhere. That's allowed Pilgrim through to 9th. Probably turn 1, I think, for Dazzler. Maybe carrying a bit too much speed through there. So 3 seconds off the back of Pilgrim now, who's still 9.8 off the back of Manny. So back to the front. Dylan still stretching that lead. 7 seconds. Marking then. Still second. Mark has closed that gap down a couple of tenths on him. Obi-Wan, unfortunately, look at the wear on those fronts. That's absolutely causing him to be a little bit slow around some of these turns for sure. .6 seconds behind Mart. It was less than half a second. When will Obi opt to come in the pits? Not this lap. He's still got a little bit of life in those tyres. What, 11 minutes on a set of softs? That doesn't bode well for the rest of the drivers for the rest of the season. Okay, the other soft tyre driver has come in the pits now, also showing the same amount of wear. Going to get rid of those. Probably come out on a set of mediums, although he might go soft medium. Takes on board a little bit of fuel. Is he going to go for full tank? He's going for full tank. Yeah, it does drop on the mediums as well. So we'll have an idea of how long they're going to last now then. Slightly different because he's now got a full tank of fuel, whereas the rest of the car started with 60%, so having that little bit of extra weight will put a tiny bit more pressure on the tyres. But you'll be able to gauge how long they should last by watching when these boys come in the pits. But don't pay attention to Dylan, he's far too good. Look, 7.9 seconds up the road from Mockin. Mark still trying to close that gap down on him. He's lost a couple of tenths again now though. Gap opens up to 1.9. Obi-Wan really struggling on those softs. The gap stretches to 2.4 seconds. Don't get me wrong, everybody else has got to put on a different tyre as well, so if you put the softs on they're going to be quick but not last long, and if you put the hards on they're going to be slow but last forever. So what do? Oh, he's in the pits this lap. We'll check back up on him in a second. Hoggy doesn't need to come in, it stays out then, drops himself into 4th position with Obi-Wan's departure into the pits. Pilgrim makes up another position with Manny dropping in the pits. He's up into 6th position, ahead of Dazzler already. Still got to stop though. Dazzler just out in front of Obi as well, so Obi has gone for the medium tyre, not taking on a full tank. He's got about 2/3 of a tank in that thing. And Manny has also stopped on the previous lap, dropped the mediums on. He's gone for the full tank though, so it will last an awful long time. And it does look like the fuel is going to run out before the mediums. Maybe? I don't know. Dylan stretching that lead up front still, 8.8 seconds. The gap between Mocking Weeks in 2nd and Martin 3rd also opens up a little bit, 2.1. Big gap to 4th position then. It's Hoggy 7.6 behind Mart. Pilgrim up into 5th position now then with Obi dropping himself in the pits. 12 seconds behind It's Hoggy, 6.5 seconds ahead of Dazzler. And then Obi and Manny are the first of the drivers to stop. They did put that soft tyre on, which obviously only lasted about 12 or 13 minutes. Both drivers have opted to come out on a medium tyre for stint 2, so that's their tyre option done. They can do whatever they want now in terms of pit stops. Everybody else rolling on the mediums has got to put on either a hard or a soft for next stint. You can see Obi making short work of Dazzler here. Getting himself right into the slipstream. Just 0.7 of a second behind him. Probably going to close up under braking here as well. Yeah, oh massively. 2/10 just under braking into turn 1 through there. Closing up again through the S's. It's getting those apexes nice and tight for Obi. Keeping himself. Oh, Dazzler's pushed it hard. Oh, he's on the grass. He's done well to not have that thing spin around. He was put under pressure by Obi. That was enough. Forced him off the track, not physically, but just through the pressure. Obi up in 2.6 then. Oh no, we just catch Dazzler. No, Degner 1, Degner 2. Oh, that's that damn AstroTurf again. And there's Manny keeping himself well away from that AstroTurf this time. He's had far too many bad experiences on that. Right, stop it, Dylan. You need an extra pit stop. 10.5 seconds lead. You're wrong. Mocking Week still doing well as well. He's not dropped any time to Mark. He's not made any time on Dylan, but he's actually pulled a little bit of time on Mark. 2.7 seconds the gap there. Big gap back to It's Hoggy now then in 4th. 10.6 seconds. Pilgrim in that 5th spot. Top 5 haven't stopped yet though. They have got to stick themselves in the pits for a change of tyre. Obi-Wan actually starting to carve his way through the field. Slowly closing up on Pilgrim here as well. 3.9 seconds, 3.8. Dazzler in 7th, still not stopped. Manny has stopped, also on that medium tyre. Can he overtake Dazzler before they get round to that next round of pit stops? Right, come on Dylan, stick some wheels on the AstroTurf. Have a little spin or something. Come on, it's too perfect, bro. It's almost like you've got a computer running your... it's AI, that's what it is. Marking Weeks still pulling time on Mart here. Medium tyres starting to show their wear now. How long before these boys drop themselves in the pits? Pretty much at the 18-minute mark. And there's still plenty of life left in them, but they will be causing them to run a little bit slow, and at points they will sort of let go when you're not least expecting it. You've just got to be ready to catch it, but now they're showing that much wear. That's the kind of thing that happens. Struggling to make any time on Mocking then. So we're a little bit out of sorts at the minute in terms of driver position. We've got Obi-Wan and Manny who have been in the pits. Nobody else has been in. So Manny and Obi were the only drivers to start on the soft tyre. Everybody else started on the medium. They only lasted about 12 or 13 minutes, to be honest, the soft tyre. So they've been in and out once. They can do whatever they want now. Oh, it's Hoggy. Let's get the brakes on into Degna 1. Into that hairpin. Easy to light the rears up coming out of there as well. Obi definitely getting closer to Pilgrim here. It was 3.3 seconds, it's down to 1.7. Again, a lot of wear starting to show on the medium tyres now for those drivers who started on them. Oh man, he's made another mistake. Dazzler's got through. Maybe that AstroTurf again for Manny. Okay, medium drivers starting to consider pits. Mocking Weeks in. Mark stays out. Dylan stayed out. Then just hits his bit pots. He's going to need fuel. That's right, on the side of his car. Dark Smoker, number 1. Okay, Mocking Weeks gets out behind Hoggy, back on track in front of Pilgrim and Obi-Wan as well. He's gone for another medium tyre, so he's still got to stick a soft or a hard on for his next stint. There we go, about 20 minutes then for Mocking. He's happy with 20 minutes out of those. Now you might see Dylan and Mark coming at the end of this lap. They might risk another one. I mean, if you look at Dylan's times, you could probably run all night on this. Oh. Cheat code dirtbag. I'd like to change your name in the chat. So, Mart 17.1 seconds behind. I don't think anybody's catching Dylan tonight. Let's hope it's just his car choice and this circuit. Otherwise it's going to be an absolute runaway for him this season. Dylan in the pits this lap. Just about out of fuel as well. Does Mark come in? Come on, camera. Come on. Yes, he does. Okay. It's Hoggy, the next man on track. opting to stay out. That's a risky move. So here comes Mocking Weeks. Dylan's out the pits, Mart's still in there. No sign of Mart being released either. A lot of it all depends on how much fuel he's taken on. So it currently sits, Dylan, been in and out the pits before anyone was able to catch up and overtake him. 3 seconds ahead of It's Hoggy. It's Hoggy has got to come in the pits though. He's going to be out of fuel at the end of this lap. He's almost out of tyres as well. Mocking Weeks then came in, took about half a tank of fuel on. Fresh set of medium tyres. Obi-Wan has stopped a couple of laps ago, so a few laps on those mediums. Not quite sure how much fuel he put on. Pilgrim's yet to stop. He's had a couple of moments quite early on in this race. Mart out the pits then, gone for 3/4 of a tank of fuel and a set of racing hards. Interesting. Is he looking to run to the end of the race on those hards? It's going to be very slow and very slippy around some turns, but if he can avoid that, what's it going to be, 20-second-ish pit stop? As long as he can keep some kind of pace on those hards. He's just got to keep himself off that AstroTurf. That'll absolutely end his race in a split second if he hits that on a set of hards. Manny stopped a few laps ago as well. It's Hoggy in the pits this lap. Dazzler not stopped yet either. So lost a little bit of time in his pit stop, Dylan. I think he took on a little bit more fuel than Mocking Week, so it was, what was he, 15 seconds ahead of Mocking when he came in the pits. And now they've both stopped and come back out. It's down to 9.6. But again, Dylan stopped a lot earlier. He's still got half a tank of fuel. Mocking Week stopped a lap or 2 laps ago, in fact. And he's already below that half a tank mark, so he didn't take on anywhere as much fuel, which is why he was able to gain that time on Dylan. And obviously now he's going to have to stop for fuel a little bit earlier. Pilgrim and Dazzler in the pits this lap. Obi in third then, semi-warm mediums. About a third of a tank of fuel. Mart another 6 seconds behind him then, so he did go for that 3/4 of a tank and that hard tyre. Again, be interesting to see what he can do with that. It's the only driver I've seen opt for a hard. If he can make those last until the checkered flag, well, we'll see. Is that Manny just having a little bit of a moment going through the hairpin? He was running a bit slow out of that while we were watching It's Hoggy come into it. There's nobody close to anybody else at the minute. We've literally got dots all over the circuit. 10 seconds plus between all drivers, I think, pretty much. Well, not quite between Obi and Mart, 6.3. .6 for It's Hoggy behind Manny. Sorry, It's Hoggy actually opted for that hard tyre. So does this avoid another pit stop for these boys? Have they worked it out properly in terms of fuel and tyres, or are they winging it? Keep it off that grass, Pilgs. Jim won't fix anything. Big gaps there. No actual racing going on. It's literally qualifying laps at the minute. So we'll watch the best man doing the qualifying laps. You watch him spin off next turn. Commentator's curse. No, he's doing alright at the minute, Dylan. Right, come on boys. You lot need to, I don't know, line up on the grid again or something. Let's get some racing back on. Unfortunately, this is why low numbers sometimes doesn't work. It just once the drivers have spread themselves out, it doesn't become that good. So still 6 seconds there between Mark and Obi. He's not managed to close any time up on Obi. Again, he's on that hard tyre. He's not really lost any time. He's yo-yoing between about 6.3 and 6.1. And again, Obi sitting on those half-worn mediums. He will have to stop again. And will he opt for a set of softs for his final stint, where he can really press? Nobody gaining on anybody, really. Manny and It's Hoggy probably the closest on track with 4.8 seconds between them. But I don't think It's Hoggy can even see Manny up front. You see him go around Degnar. Will we see him? No, we won't. Just going around the right-hander to the hairpin, but getting a little bit further away from It's Hoggy. Unfortunately, that gap stretches to 5.3. Put a nonsense inside that thing, look. Don't need any of that. Steering wheel, throttle, gear shifter and brakes. Forget the rest of it. And fuel, obviously. A little bit of a boring one at the minute, people. So is it 3 drivers on the hards? So Dazzler's on the hards. We've got It's Hoggy on the hards and Mart on the hards. Mart's taking a big chunk of time out of Obi-Wan's time, so that was 6.2, drops to 4.4, so that medium tyre starting to just show its wear now. Costing him maybe a tenth in every couple of corners, which is allowing Mark to close up. Those hard tyres not really changing much throughout their life until they get really bad. Oh, but it's little things like that that'll catch him out. He gets those, loses traction on the hards. They don't want to grip up very well at all. Again, Obi a little bit deep out of there. Mark actually follows him almost onto the same part of the circuit, so no time gained. Still 5 seconds between these two as well. So yeah, we need a couple of the medium tyre drivers to come back in the pits, I think, and bring us all back together. We'll bring at least a couple of you back together. 19 minutes of racing left. Medium tyre drivers probably going to have to stick them. Oh, I don't know. Dylan's are looking pretty good at the minute, actually. Weeks showing a little bit more on. He stopped a lap or two before before Dylan. Down to a quarter of a tank though. What's Dylan on in terms of fuel? Oh, he's still got a third of a tank, so Mockin's going to have to definitely come in the next couple of laps. Obi-Wan will have to be in for fuel and tyres. Mart should be able to easily overtake him. In fact, what's the gap between Obi and Mockin? 18 seconds. Oof. I think that's going to bring Mart right into Mockin Weeks, there or thereabouts. But I can imagine Mockin Weeks will probably come in, and his final stint will be a set of softs, which he can absolutely hammer. versus semi-worn hards for Mart, so I don't think that's going to work out in his favour, but he'll definitely get past Obi when Obi stops next. Anything could happen though, people. We've seen cars spinning around all over the place. It's easily done here at Suzuka. Money up to 5th, but those medium tyres screaming out to be changed. Plenty of fuel on board for the boy. Just running out of tyres, unfortunately. A little bit of a break going on through there. Why? It's Hoggy's not been able to close any time up on his hards. Still 5 seconds between those two. Another 9 seconds back to Pilgrim. Medium's still looking really good actually. And Dazzler also on that hard tyre option. 41 seconds behind Pilgrim though. Dylan's still looking good for the win here though. 10.5 seconds up the road from Mocking Weeks. It's been like this all night. He's not put a foot wrong really, Dylan. Not that we've seen on camera anyway. Mocking Weeks has put in a sterling effort. Been under a little bit of pressure from Mart and Obi-Wan for the first third of the race, I would say. Maybe even, yeah, about a third of it. And those gaps just broke up a little bit. He kept his nerve. Obi in 3rd though, but showing the wear on those tyres. That fuel running ever lower. Mark keeping himself just in check. Again, not losing any time to Obi on that softer tyre. Just got to keep it calm. So Manny's got to be really careful now. Those fronts are screaming out to be changed. At any minute they could let him down. It's Hoggy's actually closing up on him this time, so that was 5 seconds. It's down to 3.8. That's showing me that those front tyres aren't allowing Manny to go around some of these corners quite as quick. He's having to coast through a lot of them, can't put the hammer down. And even though the hards aren't as grippy, they're a little bit more grippy than worn out mediums. Medium still looking good for Dylan though. So Mocking Week slowly running out of fuel as well. Tyres still looking alright, but they certainly won't last another 15 minutes, I don't think. Obi-Wan's certainly won't. Tyres or fuel. Possibly in at the end of this lap, Obi. He's lost a little bit more time to Mark behind him. A couple of tenths. Now hopefully once a couple of drivers come in the pits, we'll get some actual racing going on. We'll see though, a couple of drivers reasonably close at the minute, so it's Hoggy still closing up on Manny with those worn out tyres. And then who are the other pairs? You two. It's it's Dylan catching up with last place Dazzler, going for the overtake here. Dazzler staying out of the way. He knows he's no match for Dylan. Tries to pick up any kind of slipstream once Dylan's come past him. Dylan's unfortunately too quick. Mocking then looking good for second. Obi through the chicane. Does he come in the pits this lap? He's got to, I think. Oh, he might risk it. He does risk it. Mart's only 3.7 seconds behind him now as well. Visibly closer on track. Obi's going to have to be really careful on these tyres for this last lap before he comes in. Okay, Manny's come in. He's decided he's had enough of his worn out mediums. Probably going to stick a set of softs on for the last 13 minutes. It'll be about 12 minutes by the time he actually gets out the pits. Now, will Dylan stop again? He's got to stick on a different compound at least. I believe he's got to do 3 laps on those. Mocking Weeks also has had 2 sets of mediums, so I think he's got to come in on his final stint. Going to stick a set of softs on, I would expect, as will Obi. Mart's taken another 10th out of him, but not really been able to close up, even with Obi's broken tyres. So will Obi be in at the end of this lap? Let's have a look. Through the chicane he goes. Holds it over to that right hand side. And he stays out again. Wow. He's not under any more threat from Mart behind. That gap's still at 3.7. It's Hoggy then into 5th position. Doesn't have to stop again. Pilgrim in 6th. Looking alright at the minute. I don't see whether his tyres will last him another 11 minutes. Should do, but there'll be an absolute bits by the time he gets across the line. Manny has come out, fresh set of softs. Can he do anything with those? 7.3 seconds behind Pilgrim, who's on the worn mediums. Can he make the softs work for him in this last stint? Dazzler still 40 seconds behind him, unfortunately, but again hasn't got to do another stop. Dylan into the chicane. Does he opt to come in? No. Probably going to need fuel before the end of this race. Mocking Weeks better get himself in the pits this lap, as should Obi. It is pits for Mocking. So Mart is a little bit closer now, 3.1 seconds. Still carrying good speed through there though, Obi. Got to come in the pits, almost out of fuel. He's got absolute fumes left in his tank. In he comes then. Mart follows him through, bypasses that pit entrance. Does he get ahead of Mocking Weeks is the question. Where is Mocking Weeks? Not released. Okay, so as it stands, Dylan in first, 45 seconds up the road. Now, he's got 9 minutes of racing left. He's got a little bit of fuel in that car. Tyres are pretty worn out. He's got all the time in the world he needs to just come in the pits and stop. And he's got to, because he's got to stick a different compound on. Mart then into 2nd position on those hards. But he's really got to press now. He's got, it's Hoggy. Ah, okay. It's Hoggy's managed to get out in between him and Mocking. It gives Mart a little bit of a buffer, because I can imagine Mocking Weeks. Yes, fresh set of softs for him. Obi-Wan, fresh set of softs. Manny, fresh set of softs. Pilgrim, fresh set of softs. And Dazzler still on those hards. So Dylan probably going to be in at the end of this lap. Mart has really got to try and get this thing moving. He's 14 seconds ahead of Hoggy, who's got 3 seconds on the pile of drivers behind on soft tyres. Mocking Weeks, Obi, Manny, Pilgrim, all pushing in this last stint, but they've only got 8 minutes left. make up enough time. Now, what are you doing, Dylan? He's not stopping this lap. I'm sure you had to do 3 laps on the other compound, and Dylan's only had 2 sets of mediums on for the time being, so he has got to stick a different compound on. Has he got enough time to stick those 3 laps in? What are the lap times? 1:47. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Okay, Mart's still 14 seconds ahead of this man. It's Hoggy. He's having his rear end tampered with by Mocking Weeks. Obi-Wan just 2 seconds behind him as well. Manny and Pilgrim both on that softer tyre. Okay, Dylan in the pits now. Where's Mart? Miles away. Just coming down to Spoon, so no chance. Dylan's going to get in, out. You can probably shake it all about as well. Boop, that's enough fuel, thank you very much. And he does go for that change of tyres, so soft now, so you're only going to see those lap times come down. And probably another fastest lap from Dylan coming up. Okay, so Mart in second still. 14.3 seconds. Mocking actually just making his way past It's Hoggy. Still, big old gap. 14 seconds to close up on Mart in 6 minutes. It's Hoggy's not letting this one go too easily either. Obi-Wan, next man on track on the softs. Manny on those softs, being harassed by Pilgrim on the even fresher softs. Look how quick he's closing up on him. Side by side coming into the casino. Side by side going through casino. Oh, Pilgrim just has to back off through there. And then Dazzler out on those hards as well. 33 seconds back. Dylan still with the 30-second lead though after that pit stop. 5 minutes left on the race timer. Mark still in second then. Lost 2 seconds to Mockin. But those softs will show their wear. Look at that already. Already showing big amounts of wear on those softs. It's Hoggy just holding up P1 Obi-Wan there as well. Just not able to get past It's Hoggy. On that hard tyre option versus the soft tyre for Obi. Sticks one up the inside, but It's Hoggy's got the inside line through Spoon. Obi sticks one back up at the inside, but It's Hoggy's fully aware and waiting for that one. And now it's going to be a drag race up the hill. Oh, pulling ahead though. Through those gears, getting that car stopped before the turn. So this is the fight I really want to look at. We've got 4 minutes left. Mocking Week's now just 10 seconds behind him, but don't think it's going to be enough. He's only getting more and more wear on those softs. It's down to 9.6. Still trying though, Mockin. And if you're not trying, you're not racing, are you? What's the point if you're not trying? This man's pretty much got it in the bag now. 34 seconds lead again. Still pulling. Oh, Dazzler! Lights those tyres up going through Spoon. Doesn't hit the wall though, I think. Managed to keep it out of it. So 3 minutes left on the race timer. Dylan leading by 30, nearly 35 seconds then as he hits Casino. Mart now that gap down to 8 seconds. 3 minutes left of racing. It's going to be very close between those two. Again, Mockin starting to show the wear on those softs. Should be alright for the next 3 minutes, but whether they're enough to close that gap all the way down, I don't know. Obi, now he's managed to finally get past It's Hoggy, has found himself 6.5 seconds adrift from Mockin Weeks, unfortunately, so nobody to race for him for the rest of this one. It's Hoggy holding 5th. Next closest man on track is Manny, another 19 seconds behind, so It's Hoggy could be good for 5th, barring any mistakes. Manny has got Pilgrim for company, but already those softs showing that wear. Dazzler on the hards. Manny's softs looking very similar to Pilgrim's. There's a lot less wear on the rears of that car for Pilgs than there is on... look at that, the difference. Is that down to brake balance, how you boys have got it set up, or is that down to the car? Dazzler then through Spoon. Still pulling away up front then, Dylan. So there is a Mart. Still being closed down by Mockin Weeks. And he is starting to show the wear on those hards now. The difference being that they don't really change much throughout their life cycle, the hards. Until they're really, really bad. Weeks on the other hand, those softs will have felt lovely 3 or 4 laps ago. Now they're a little bit loose. A minute left. Are we going to see one more lap from everybody? I think we are. At least from a Dylan, a Mart, a Mockin, probably an Obi. Dylan's absolutely miles away again. 40.8 seconds ahead on those softs. Now, he is very low on fuel. Has he timed it to perfection? Or is he going to run out halfway up the back straight? So that is it, people. 50 minutes on the clock. It is just a case of getting to the line and crossing it. We have got a couple of drivers coming up towards the line actually here. Manny, so he's going to be the first man to take a position, comes home in 6th. Pilgrim takes 7th. Dazzler is not going to be the next man to cross the line. It is going to be this man, Dylan, race leader. Clear winner for the night as well, just led throughout from the word go. Pulled about a second lead before anyone could even think about trying to catch up with him. And that was that, just disappeared, absolutely disappeared. Dylan then convincingly taking the win here. Mart still a long way off, going through Spoon. Mockin Weeks now just 3.9 seconds behind him. We have got a driver just about to cross the line. It is Dazzler to take 8th. So looking good, I think, for Martz. He's got a couple of fast corners to go. Well, one fast corner and a couple of slow ones. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes through there, he should be safe. Mockin Weeks tried hard at the end on that fresh set of softs, but if you look at Mart's lap times, they've been 49, 49, 49, 48, 50, 49, 49. 49, there he goes, takes 2nd. Mockin Weeks taking 3rd position. Obi-Wan coming home in 4th. And we just wait for It's Hoggy taking 5th position. There it is, race 1 of the season done and dusted. A little bit empty in the middle part of the race when there was literally 8 drivers 10-12 seconds apart, dotted around the whole circuit. Yeah, it was just laps. But once those pit stops came in, it brought everyone a little bit back together. There he is then, Dylan on that top spot. You might have to get used to seeing that. this whole season. We'll see. That's just the way he is. So, race 1 in the bag. Official results on screen. Dylan taking that top spot. Mark coming home in second. It's a good choice to stick those hards on and run to the end. Put under a little bit of pressure by Mocking Weeks at the end as he was slowly closing up on him. Mocking Weeks taking that third, then Obi-Wan coming home fourth. It's Hoggy fifth, Manny in sixth, Pilgrim 7th, Dazzler in 8th. So, what cars have we used tonight? GTR, the RCF, GTR, NSX, GTR, NSX. So they could all use the same car next week, but you can only use the same car twice. There's 3 cars to choose. You've got the Lexus, the NSX and the GTR, and it's up to you when you use them, which tracks, so forth. So I don't know, is it better for you to use the crappy car at the worst track you like, or the best car at the worst track you like? I don't know. But they've got that to consider as well, and you do get penalised obviously if you use the car 3 times instead of 2. So, and you also get penalised if you don't do that 2 compounds. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I hope you all like what you've watched. Obviously, same time, same place next week, 9 o'clock here on my channel. Before that, though, on Saturday nights, you will have seen we do the Nürburgring Just for Fun Driving Club. Barzy, who's in the chat actually, or was in the chat, he appeared last night. Mark also turns up for that one. Mocking Weeks pops in every now and then. Kicked out the lobby. But yeah, that's what we've got coming up. So Nürburgring on Saturday nights. I think they are looking at changing the format of that a little bit. So at the minute it's more of a turn up and race, have a bit of fun, a couple of laps, 2 laps, 3 laps, whatever they've decided. But there has been chatter today only, and it's only just come about, where they're looking at potentially turning it into some kind of championship points, maybe doing a sort of longer Berg race, maybe a 10-lapper one week, and then a few weeks with the 2-lap format that they usually run. But I'll give you more information on that as and when more stuff gets confirmed. But that might be happening in the future. So that's Saturday night at 8 o'clock here on my channel. Obviously UK time. I know it's a German lobby and the times aren't quite the same, and it can upset the Germans sometimes. It can. But yes, Saturday nights 8 o'clock for the Nürburgring, and then Sunday nights 9 o'clock now for this. Let's just have a look. Where are we next week? What do I need to turn off or on? Boop. No. Oh yeah, there we go. Hide Speed Ring. That's where we are next week. And then Tokyo South, Tokyo East, Autopolis or Autopolis, depending on how you like to say it. And then Fuji No Chicane. That's the lineup. But yes, I hope you have liked what you've watched, people. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, touch all those little buttons at the bottom. But most of all, you know what I want you to do, peeps. Tell your mates and tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.